wanted to come today to give this centre my personal endorsement, but I also wanted to come today to make an announcement about some government support for the work of this centre as it gets up and running.
Innovative justice is all about thinking smarter as far as our justice system is concerned. I mean, the old law and order model, someone commits a burglary, for instance, they get sent to jail for that offence. Smart, modern, innovative justice really asks why they've committed that offence. They may have mental health issues, there could be family violence issues, unemployment issues, homelessness issues. Unless the legal system addresses all those issues in a holistic way, we just have a revolving door where people go in and out of jail.
Keep doing what you've always done, you keep getting what you've always got. We have to make change.
This report is distinct because for the first time perhaps it focuses on perpetrators of family violence.
1 in 3 women, I think the statistics are affected by family violence. We're seeing on average 2 women in Australia die each week as a direct result of family violence, and the cost on our health system is untold.
Well, our report steps out a range of initiatives that exist already and ways that the justice system can interact more effectively, whether it be police having the capacity to refer perpetrators to mental health or alcohol treatment programs, to crisis accommodation, which is a really, really big issue, through to the importance of that initial contact a perpetrator has at court. Often it's the first time that a perpetrator has been asked about not only about his violence, but his experiences or life overall.
Unfortunately, our justice system for too long has put the burden on victims of family violence. That has to change, and the burden needs to be removed from victims and put squarely on the system itself.
Leaving custody behind tells a really important story, and it's the story of women who have contact with the justice systems, their experiences, their trauma, their overrepresentation, but also the effects on the broader community and their families. It is women that are the caregivers in our community. It is women who are the mums. It's the women who predominantly look after our elders or the disabled. And it's when women come into contact with the justice system that devastating ripple effect that goes across the community. And I think that is spelt out really well in this paper.
Dorothy, what do you see as the biggest barriers to access to justice for people with disability?
I suspect that there are several answers, but I think based on my experience, in spite of presenting, in front of magistrates or to police, visibly, beaten and, experience violence, it was never considered or acknowledged that I potentially had some kind of, head injury or brain damage.
This website has been designed for court and legal professionals to help them better support people with cognitive disability in the criminal justice system. SupportingJustice.net includes information about disability in the criminal justice system, practical guides and resources for court and legal professionals, people with disability and their supporters, information on services and programs, and the personal stories of people with disability who have had lived experience of the criminal justice system.
So growing up not connected to my culture actually had a big input on my offending. So I still have the criminal record, but it's been over 10 years now. So hopefully now with these new laws that have come in Victoria, that I can get my convictions spent.
Restorative justice is a way of bringing people together in the aftermath of harm in a way that might address what we would call their justice needs, which can include a desire to ensure that what happened to them doesn't happen to anyone else desire for more information about what occurred, sometimes to have some form of validation.
One of the big gaps, I think, is around healing around the actual accident. How does somebody understand what the other person was doing or feeling at the same time? And how can we bring those people together in order to understand one another and help one another to heal?
In itself, that's the beauty of restorative justice, is that it can be quite tailored to what individuals want, whereas the justice system can be very one size fits all.
What I did learn was that he had, because I wasn't at the sentencing, and so I wasn't there when my victim impact statement was read out, but I had written a lot in my anger and frustration about how would you feel if someone knocked on your door in the middle of the night and said that your only family member had been killed. How would you feel? And I'd written about my brother and the loss, because he lived in Victoria, big community-minded person. And Hayden talked to me about what was in that victim impact statement. He used my brother's name. He didn't just wash over it. He said, I'm really sorry that he can't any longer work for Louise Van, or, you know, whatever, the other things that he only did. He said, but when I get out, I can do those things. I thought, my God, I didn't raise any of that. He raised it. And I thought, yeah, this is not a bad man, this is just... And I thought too, I think anybody would be lying in this room if at some stage when they were stupid and 18 or 19 didn't drive with too much alcohol in their body. It could have been anybody.
I think the best thing has been having access to judges to ask questions that you wouldn't otherwise get the chance to. I mean, it's pretty special to be able to ask a Supreme Court judge what he thinks about CCOs, or to ask a Supreme Court judge what they think about a parole system, for example.
Our annual Innovative Justice Study Tour, and this year we went to New York.
Over 5 days, we witnessed some of the world-leading therapeutic justice practices and community-driven solutions to offending.
It's been great to experience what is essentially a movement in New York, to see communities more involved in how justice is delivered, and it's been an experience that has changed me as a person and will definitely influence my future career in the legal sector.
Well, I can't believe that it's been 10 years since I had the opportunity to launch the Centre for Innovative Justice at RMIT University. Whilst I had high hopes for the centre when I announced a seed grant to kick off its research agenda, I could never have envisaged the enormous impact the centre would have on all parts of our justice system. Your work in innovating and modernising practices and processes to help make all parts of our justice system a positive intervention in people's lives is highly commendable, and I hope your important work and your vision continue for many years to come. Happy birthday to the Centre. I hope you all enjoy the celebration.